Chris Matthews is doing a very good job in, asking follow-up, not only asking follow-up questions, but holding Donald Trump accountable for the fact that he hasn't really thought many things through, including his so-called pro-life position, right? And it's impressive. I really like it. Look, already I want to name Chris Matthews the biggest winner of this debate, right? Because he's doing such a good job. But we know what his biases are, so I want to make sure that he uses the same line of questioning or the same type of aggressive questioning to all the candidates, including Bernie Sanders, by the way, okay? I don't want him to be soft on Hillary and then hard on Bernie or vice versa. I want him to be hard on all the candidates. We'll see how it goes, okay? This is my prediction. He's not going to be as difficult with Hillary, but...
I already said I'm going to hate him over the next 2 hours, but I'm loving him right now. Like, you could pick at it and say he could have been stronger, and he could have, but he's in a tough situation. There's almost no one as oily, mostly from all the tanner, than Donald Trump, but he did a great job. He defended himself. He said, don't pick into my religion. I'm not running for the president. You are. Trump, like, people say, oh, he just tells it like it is. He's not a regular politician. He kept turning it on Chris Matthews. Chris Matthews ain't running for president. He made that very clear.
Right.
Trump refused to say what the punishment should be, but he got him to say there should be punishment for having an abortion.
Yes.
And wait until people hear that, and it's going all over the place today because this was pre-taped. People do not want to imagine you're going to be locking women up for having an abortion, for exercising the constitutional right that they've had for almost 50 years at this point.
Look, I somewhat agree with you, but you would be surprised at how many people want to lock up women.
Some will.
Some will. Look, we have entire states that have passed legislation that would prosecute and imprison women if they've had a miscarriage or delivered a stillborn and they had a past history with drug abuse, right? They're called fetal harm bills. And
I think that's done in the shadows. I think that if people actually knew that that was going on, they would be absolutely, like, they wouldn't support those politicians. Even a lot of pro-life people get really uneasy when you start talking about exactly how you should ban it or what the penalty should be. And look, Chris Matthews used the word fascistic.
So
he said it.
Impressive.
So as impressive as Chris Matthews is being, we shouldn't be impressed. We should be expecting this. This is what should have been happening months and months ago. But guess what was happening? I have a video on my computer. There's a video up at my channel, the Jimmy Dore Show channel, with Chris Matthews agreeing with Donald Trump. In fact, verbatim, Chris Matthews says, maybe he's a little fascistic, but maybe I feel that way too. So classic Chris Matthews style, he's going to be on every side of the Trump issue, so no matter which way it goes, he can point to a videotape of himself doing that. Oh, no, look, I was for the Iraq War. I was against the Iraq War. I called the Iraq War people carpers and complainers. So he's going to be on. So congratulations. What I told Johnny, I think, before was that what this shows you is that Chris Matthews actually does know how to do a real interview. He actually does know when someone's bullshitting him. It's that 99% of the time he chooses to ignore it. 99% of the time, he chooses not to actually do a good job. And now somebody in Wisconsin on the radio embarrassed everybody else in journalism, and so now Chris has got to take back some of his balls, and he's trying to do it right now.